With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. With the elections coming sooner than expected, CIGTV's Donna Bush has some information for electors hoping to cast their ballots on April 14th.
Last week, His Excellency the Governor announced April 14th as the new date when voters will go to the polls here in the Cayman Islands. This date was selected in part to ensure newly registered and eligible voters will still be able to cast their vote in the 2021 general election. Before the 20th of January 2021 registration deadline, 1,406 individuals registered to vote. The names of these voters are now listed on the revised list of electors, which was published for public review on the 3rd of this month. Claims and objections relating to the revised lists must be submitted before the 25th of February. All claims and objections will then be published on the 4th of March. The revised list, after claims and objections are heard, will be finalized and become the official list of electors on April 1st. Those persons on the official list will then be entitled to cast their vote at the polls on April 14th. Individuals may contact the elections office by emailing them at office@elections.ky. Meantime, anyone who was registered to vote prior to the 6th of November back in 2009 but were removed from the register due to residency requirements are encouraged to submit a claim form, which is available online from elections.ky under the forms section to their district's registering officer before the 25th of this month deadline in order to be reinstated following a recent ruling by the revising officer. Now, during the December 2020 claims and objections hearing, the revising officer, the chief magistrate, ruled that voters who were registered immediately prior to the commencement of the 2009 Constitution on the 6th of November 2009 are not subject to the residency requirements and may be registered.
His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper recognizes COVID-19 heroes.
Premier, Cabinet, the Deputy Governor for their leadership. Team Cayman, including our health professionals, and everyone in the wider community, including all of you, can be so proud of the progress we have made and the largely normal lives we are living.
During a special award ceremony held over 2 days, Governor Roper paid tribute to a number of people across Cayman for their outstanding response to the COVID pandemic.
So many people stepped up and went the extra mile on the front line to protect everyone on our islands. I am therefore delighted to be able to present awards to members of our community who are a shining example of service, commitment, integrity, selflessness, and sacrifice.
The awardees are drawn from across society, including civil servants, health professionals, private sector, and charitable organizations. Governor Roper noted 2020 was an extraordinary year, and so many people in Cayman stepped up to support the community.
I believe that one of the enduring impacts of this pandemic will be a sense that we should all give more value, respect, and status to the work of people who support our communities day in, day out. Those that give public service out of a sense of duty and responsibility, from health professionals to teachers to law enforcement and civil service servants delivering services. Those who provide care to our elder citizens, work in the charitable sector, in supermarkets or delivery companies, and give outstanding service.
Governor Roper said society as a whole is already recognizing those contributions more than they have in the past. He says it will be a positive and lasting legacy of the global pandemic. Farmers will now have greater access to animal inspection services with the purchase of a new portable animal chute by the Department of Agriculture. More from Radio Cayman's Paula Cal.
The new $20,000 chute will simplify activities like reproductive and pregnancy checks, physical examinations, and treatment of unhealthy animals, including surgical procedures, ear tagging, deworming, and any other procedure that might require the restraint of an animal. The DOA says since the chute's arrival in January, it has been used on 3 occasions. Before the arrival of the portable chute, farmers had to transport their livestock to the DOA, which was costly and tedious and could oftentimes put veterinary staff at risk in unsafe conditions on farms. The design of the new chute allows the DOA the ability to move around the island easily. For Radio Cayman News, I am Paula Cal.
And the Cayman Islands Mangrove Rangers are pleased with their first Discovery Camp. Radio Cayman's Felicia Renconsalens has more.
During the Mangrove Discovery Camp, the kids learned about everything from identifying the different types of mangrove species in Cayman to learning about the bacteria and tiny microorganisms that live in the mangrove waters.
Mangrove Ranger Dinara Pereira says the 2-day camp was informative and inspiring for the 20 campers.
They also learned about the various ecosystem services that mangroves provide, such as being a nursery for 76% of all the fish we find on the reef, and sequestering carbon, which is really important to combat climate change.
The camp was a joint effort between the Mangrove Action Project Rangers, Sea Elements Kayak Operator, the Mangrove Education Project, and the International College of the Cayman Islands.
I think it was an overall good experience for the kids, full of interactive learning exercises such as using microscopes to examine aquatic invertebrates and attempting to clean up an oil spill, which we discovered is really difficult and almost impossible to do. Plus, this ended with a boat trip by Sea Elements to explore the central wetland mangroves, which is the largest contiguous mangrove forest in the Caribbean.
As of right now, there are no plans for another camp, but Cayman's Mangrove Rangers' hopes are high that there will be another soon to come. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
In addition to the camp map, the Rangers have begun work on a new classroom curriculum, which is being developed to integrate mangroves with the rest of the coastal lagoon ecosystem, seagrass, and coral reefs. That's your latest news. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's Newsroom.